Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic Magazine and AXS Entertainment out here on the road, Mayhem Festival, day 4. Gonna do 5 minutes of mayhem here with Adam from Wretched. How you doing, brother?
Good, how you doing, man?
I'm doing phenomenal. I was just telling you, got to check out the first couple of songs of the show. Sounded awesome. Cool. Unfortunately, sort of where they shoved the stage for this particular event kind of keeps you away from everybody else.
It is weird. We're a little secluded, but I think the goal is that you walk by our stage as you enter,
right?
And see our stage. Then you see a bunch of vendors and merch, T-shirts and stuff, and you get to the big stage and the Sumerian stage. And once those close down, everybody moves inside. So it's a big shuffling game. But today we just we didn't look out today. First days have been great though. We've all been kind of in the same area.
It was still a decent little crowd, not a huge one, but a decent crowd, and they were getting into it, and that's what matters. So this is your guys' first appearance on Mayhem. You got to be pretty psyched just to be out here on this tour.
Oh yeah, man. I think off the bat, even before anything else is mentioned, we're all extremely excited to have awesome food every day. That's probably makes me happier than anything else, you know. That, and there's an endless supply of marijuana in the vicinity, you know, that keeps everybody pretty happy, you know. But a lot of fans, a lot of new people, a lot of musicians we've never met. So yeah, all around, just cool stuff happening every day.
And Mayhem, unlike a lot of festivals I've heard, a lot of camaraderie. It really feels like a whole adult summer camp sort of vibe going on.
Yeah, it does.
So that'll be pretty cool for you guys. Who are you sort of most excited to see this year? I think I already know the answer. But
yeah, you know, Cannibal Corpse is probably my number one. Korn was a huge influence. I guess when I was in the 5th, going into the 6th grade, I picked up their first album. And, I thought the way he wrote lyrics was really cool because he was being just blunt and straightforward about things. You know, Cannibal Corpse is almost the extreme opposite. They're just, you know, they like the over-the-top horror theatrics and stuff. And I like both of those. So if you're curious what Wretched's lyrics are like, it's a combination of real-life stuff and then a little bit of fantasy and glamorizing of brutality.
Right. Well, talking Cannibal Corpse, we'll shorten that to Cannibal, the name of the new album just out.
Yeah.
So this is your second album with the band, and it also marks the return of Joel, which sort of changed the dynamic quite a bit. Tell us about the new record from your perspective.
The new record, it feels like almost like what should have come out as the last album, Son of Perdition. Son of Perdition, we put together really fast. We tried a lot of things and experimented some. In a short amount of time, we didn't expand on those things. But we just tried some styles that maybe were new to us, a little more black metal and melodic death than our previous albums, which were very much thrash and death and hardcore kind of stuff. So this album, you get to see the band playing more old school death metal mixed with the old school thrash that we did on Beyond the Gate. And Joel has a lot to do with the first and second album, even though he left in the making of the second. So a lot of the sound you hear from our first 2 albums is back with Joel. Him working with Steven and Marshall, the original guys. Just, I think we had a solid time to plan and write and execute this time.
Yeah, it seems like the evolution of the band now is like there was that sort of extent. Why is it the third album always seems to be sort of the experimental one? I don't know, but
I think people get the jitters out in the first 2 albums and then like, all right,
what can we play with?
Yeah.
So and the new album sounds fantastic. I'm really liking it so far. Obviously, you know, Joel had a lot to do with the writing again, and the album feels a bit more cohesive too.
It is, yeah, very much. I mean, I'm glad you hear that.
Yeah, and a little more groove in this album.
Absolutely.
So I'm not losing my mind.
No, we actually did some touring with Dying Fetus, and that's another Cannibal Corpse, Dying Fetus, 2 of my favorite in the genre, you know, and the rest of our band kind of on par with that too. So we wanted to incorporate some Pantera and some Dying Fetus style grooves. And, you know, I love bands like Gojira, which are nothing but groove. So I think everybody, as we've gotten older, like just agrees. You know, we want some more head noddable riffs and things like that.
And as you said, it's funny because everybody always calls you technical death metal, but there's always been that thrash element to you.
I agree, man. The thrash is very much there. We're all our guitar player's biggest influence by far, Megadeth and Metallica.
Now you guys sort of produced and engineered this one on your own. I believe was it Jason?
Sukoff?
Jason Sukoff, yeah, he sort of mixed it, but he's a phenomenal guitar player in his own right.
Yeah.
But you guys did the bulk of the work up front, producing and engineering. That had to be a little stressful.
It was new, man. Our drummer Marshall, he does production on his own,
right?
And he knows how to do this stuff already, but just had never. I don't think he expected what he got, you know. Which really just included needing an engineer, because Marshall could set everything up and do the editing and so on and so forth, but we really needed somebody there to actually hit record and punch in and start it like an engineer, you know, because Marshall's behind the kit sometimes, so Joel took over that responsibility. He did that with vocals a lot too, and me and him worked together with replacement of vocals, so it was a good full writing.
And that's probably why it added more to the cohesion, because you guys were working so closely together on that. Of course, John Vale did come back and throw down a solo on the album.
Yeah, he came back and just did stupid over the top shred. That guy is an awesome guitar player. And we were like, just ejaculate on this part for us, and he did, you know.
You get right in the middle of the album and the title cut, like the 7.5 epic monster progressive piece, instrumental.
Yeah, just comes out of nowhere.
How did that come about?
That's something we always do. Every record has a large chunk of instrumental in the middle, and I think, you know, everybody in metal, as you get older, at least, like, you know, has some taste outside of the metal world. So we try and, you know, nab at a little of everybody's interest in the instrumental and let our guys kind of go crazy with guitar work. And, you know, we have a lot of musicians that are fans, so we want to keep them, you know, challenged. We don't want to write songs that takes them, like, you know, a second to figure out. We want them to take a couple minutes.
And you get a break, right?
And when we do headlining sets, I get a nice break to, like, you know, throw beer on people. Scream and shout and stuff.
So before we get you out of here so you can go eat and shower and do everything you want to do, just a couple more questions. As you guys have grown, your music has matured as well, obviously. How do you see the band evolving over the next few years?
That's a good question, actually. I've been pondering this ever since the recording came out. Like, what do we do next, you know? I think we found our style, or we return to it, maybe, and maybe the next album we'll just try and push the brutality and the melody. I don't see our band ever being a crossover, you know, no style band with much singing, but it'd be cool to do some tonal screams and do some more spacey experimental parts, and the groovy parts bigger and chunkier.
A little more progression, a little more groove.
Yeah, I think more extremes in all ends.
So just for fun, the pointless question of the week.
Yeah.
If you could appear on any television series, what would it be?
Man. Not Cops. I'm not going to say Cops for this. Let me think. It's a toss-up between Breaking Bad or The Office, which are both, I believe, not running anymore. It tells you how current I am.
That's okay. We were talking about marijuana earlier. I thought you were going to say weeds, you know, because who doesn't want to bed Nancy Botwin, right?
I know, dude. Everybody thinks she's so hot. I think she's attractive, but...
there's something about the eyes that
she's got nice eyes, but I'd have to say Breaking Bad, because it's very relatable. I get the comparison when I have the glasses and a fedora on.
Oh yeah, I do the whole Heisenberg thing at Halloween and everything.
Yeah.
Adam Cody, Wretched out here on Mayhem Festival. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope the tour continues to go well, no problems and everything.